Hey YouTube, I ate. I'm still on break, but I was looking how I ate. Look how many weeds have grown through the bottom rack of the grill. It just tells you how fast they boom. Grew straight up through it already. Like it's been here for years. I can't have owned that thing about 10 days. So if anybody tells you it's too early to plant for spring, everything frost is gonna get it, I don't know about that. Things started blooming back in January. Some things will die, sure. But not everything's going to die off. It has a will to live. And then I'm going to add something on COVID, because my mind wandered while I was bored. And they say that like 2/3 of the people in Spain or France lost their sense of smell. And 30% in the other Spain or France, whichever one was which, also lost their sense of smell, even though they may have been asymptomatic in other things. But people who actually had COVID had lost their sense of smell. So an interesting thing on that I'm going to note is that hydrogen sulfide gas that I've been dealing with these last 10-12 years in the city I was living in, when it reaches at a lower concentration, it smells like rotten egg. It's a real horrible stench. But when it gets to a higher concentration, you can no longer smell it because it paralyzes a nerve, a nasopharyngeal nerve, whatever, that affects your sense of smell, which affects your sense of taste. So you really can't, you can still maybe smell or taste things, but not very well. So you'll end up using more of something trying to get the flavor, and you're wondering why it doesn't have the flavor. Just kind of a heads up. So that tells us though that this COVID virus is paralyzing nerves. Just an interesting thing that it's paralyzing nerves. Because that hasn't been mentioned at all. Not in that context. I also saw something else between doctors discussing the virus about people who were using NSAIDs, which is like Tylenol, aspirin, whatever. And they were saying that people who had mild symptoms and then took this for fever or pain or whatever, their symptoms became more severe. So just kind of a heads up. You might want to avoid any painkillers if you can help it. I don't know if it's maybe, this is just my own personal theory now, is that like aspirin thins the blood, and maybe that allows the virus to permeate tissue that it wouldn't otherwise be able to permeate as deeply, because it allows the blood to be thinner and pass through tinier capillaries, tinier cell walls in your lungs that it otherwise would not be able to access. Just a thought. Just a thought. Doesn't mean go out and eat a bunch of fatty foods and clog up your arteries. But anyways, I'll see y'all later. We'll get to work here in a minute.